Well, the dream of having a Pac-2 conference exist legitimately for 2 years is actually not dead. We have an update from Ross Dellenger in one of his latest pieces of reporting. Welcome into the channel. I am John Kurtz. Here on this channel, we talk conference realignment, college football, college basketball all the time, and you get it from a Big 12 angle. Please consider subscribing if you have not. I am live on Wednesdays and Sundays, and if you click the bell, you'll get alerts when I'm going live or dropping content like this. Okay, so what we have here is Oregon State and Washington State suing the Pac-12. They got a big ruling in their favor on Monday. Things are moving in the right direction there, but they're still mulling over their future. Would it be a reverse merger with the Mountain West? A part of the problem there would be exit fees for the Mountain West. If you're going to be pulling teams, they're very expensive. We just went through this with San Diego State, potentially trying to leave for the Pac-12 when it did still actually exist in a recognizable form. We heard about that. $17 million exit fee jumping up to $34 million. So an answer here could be Washington State and Oregon State sitting tight for 2 years as a two-team conference because there is a 2-year grace period from the NCAA. Here's the latest from Dellenger on where all of that stands. President Murthy at Oregon State and Athletic Director Scott Barnes say all options remain viable in a future path for Oregon State and Washington State athletics, including participating as a two-school conference next fall in an effort to preserve the Pac-12. Though not the most ideal option, Barnes said a two-team Pac-12 is doable. So there you have it. There's an official athletic director involved saying a two-team Pac-12 is doable. The Pac-2, in this case, would be recognized as a conference by the NCAA because of the association's 2-year grace period, something that provides options for the league going forward, said Washington State Athletic Director Pat Chun. Murthy, who celebrates her 1-year anniversary as Oregon State's president on Saturday, says rebuilding the Pac-12 remains one of several options. Others include joining the Mountain West or an unusual merger with the full membership of the Mountain West Conference, whereby a 14-member league would operate under the Pac-12 brand and potentially retain its assets. And some of that is at the heart of the lawsuit that has been filed by the two schools, trying to maintain control of that and not lose it to 10 schools that technically, I guess, would still be board members as of right now. Rebuilding the Pac-12, quote, will not be an easy thing to do, she said. But this is a really important decision for us. We are looking at every single option. Rebuilding the Pac-12 would potentially retain the league's brand and assets as well, most notably the Autonomy 5 status, impending NCAA tournament basketball revenue shares, bowl contracts, and revenue from the college football playoff as a Power 5 league. The NCAA requires 8 members to be recognized as a conference, but it allows a 2-year grace period. According to bylaw 20.02.9.2, I'm sure you're all familiar, a conference shall continue to be considered an FBS league for 2 years after it drops below the 18 threshold. Quote, it's given us some optionality, Chun said. That one grace period provides some options. It was at first thought the league would lose 2 designations, one from the NCAA and one from the college football playoff. Obviously, the one being the Autonomous 5 governance status, and 2, the Power 5 status with the playoff that grants those leagues more revenue in the playoff distribution model, a significant haul of cash. However, given NCAA bylaws, the conference may potentially keep those A5 legislative powers, at least over the 2-year grace period. But the playoff, as you can imagine, would be a more complicated issue. Their top governance board is made up of 11 members, 1 president from each conference and Notre Dame's president. Kirk Schultz at Washington State is included on that, and a decision to change the college football playoff revenue distribution model is believed to need unanimous support. While she acknowledged that a 2-team Pac-12 would be odd and cause scheduling issues, Murthy says the 2 schools continue to examine all possibilities. Given the NCAA's grace period clause, the conference would have until 2026 to increase its membership to 8 schools. And a key here is that they have been having conversations with the Mountain West. Gloria Nevarez is the commissioner of the Mountain West, and here is a little bit on that. Meanwhile, conversations with the Mountain West and Commissioner Gloria Nevarez have been, quote, really good, Murthy said. She's phenomenal. We've had frank and deep conversations. However, all of the options are contingent on the Pac-12's assets and liabilities, which remain a murky issue. You can check out the video that I posted yesterday if you want to learn more about the lawsuit that is going on with that and trying to make sure that Oregon State and Washington State can hang on to all of that. But to close here, Oregon State and Washington State are serious about keeping alive the Pac-12, but it won't be easy. It's fraught with problems. Most notably is the attractiveness of joining 2 schools that don't have a TV deal and have a commissioner who is unlikely to continue in the long term. that is a part of this too. What are you going to do at commissioner? Oliver Luck has been helping out these two schools a little bit, and he had been mentioned for commissioner jobs at points. But is that the route that they would actually try to go? Are you going to get a TV deal? There is a lot that would have to be worked out. This would be very messy if they were to go that route, but really none of these routes seem very clean right now. Another problem the Pac-12 has is the legal and other challenges, including an NLRB employment claim, lawsuits from the Holiday Bowl and two former employees, the House case for retroactive NIL pay, more than $50 million owed to Comcast for an accounting error, and lease payments for the newly opened Pac-12 Network studio. Yeah, remember that slew of headlines we talked about here? 6 months ago or so on the channel? They were very negative, didn't look good for the Pac-12. All of that is coming back to roost now, too. With help from consultant Oliver Luck, Oregon State and Washington State have vetted several potential additions in the Mountain West and American Conference, but it's unclear how interested the targets are in joining a two-team conference. Look, I wish the best for Oregon State and Wazoo in all of this. I think potentially I'm going to say funniest, and I don't even mean that to make light of the situation, but just the biggest FU middle finger I feel like Oregon State and Wazoo could give right now is to say, now, you know what, we'll just be our own two-member conference here for a little while. I would hope that they can still get the college football playoff money, the extra money that comes with that. I would hope they retain Autonomy 5 status, and they'll just say, look, we'll wait it out. We'll wait out the exit fees. Forget you guys. You left. We're going to do our own thing for a little while and make the situation as good as we can for ourselves. I wish nothing but the best for Oregon State and Wazoo long-term in all of this, and there's a part of me that thinks that might be the route to go. If you can't work something out cleanly now, that might be the way to go, to kind of wait it out, and it would give us the most unique situation we have ever seen in college athletics. So, a lot to monitor. Make sure that you are subscribed here to the channel. If you're not, I will keep you updated for sure. Live show coming up on Wednesday night. Live shows Wednesday and Sunday. Click the bell so you get alerts when I go live. You can support the channel on Venmo. It is John-Kurtz-4 in order to do that. But a totally free way to support the channel, just like the video and leave a comment underneath here. Whether you agree, disagree, love me, hate me, whatever, it all helps the YouTube algorithm, and I much appreciate it. So, tell your friends about the channel. Take care. I appreciate you all, and I will talk to you soon.